You seem so creative and you know how to turn every moment, as the cliche goes, you know how to turn lemons into lemonade.
I turn limes into margaritas.
Oh, girl, that was good. That was good. And looking at you today and hearing you speak, you look so confident and obviously there has been some tough times. You figured your way out. But I want to hear about maybe in the beginning when you hadn't quite figured it all out. How did you get through real tough times then? And what were they?
Okay, so I came from a very, very non-traditional background, which by the way is also BS because nobody has had a traditional background. I don't care if both your parents are together and you had a white picket fence and 2 dogs and 2 kids. There's still always a problem. There's parents fighting and kids can hear it. There are parents staying together because they can't afford to get divorced. But I grew up pretty much on the racetrack around gambling and alcoholism and drugs and eating disorders and was going, to the betting windows at 5 years old and shooting craps at 13 years old and full straight hustler racetrack background. So I'm sure that has a lot to deal with where I am. And I've seen physical abuse and I've seen all this different stuff. But for some reason, I've always had it in me that this is the hand you were dealt and you play your hand. And it's part of who you are. And you can't take the rose and only take the petals and throw away the thorns. They are all what make you who you are. I can't say, oh, woe is me, I had a bad childhood, but then, realize that I have this strength and fortitude because of having that childhood. And it wasn't a bad childhood because I didn't know that you're not supposed to be going in nightclubs at 14 years old. I didn't know. But it made me pretty adult at a young age, and it's totally part of who I am. But whenever something happened that went wrong, I know that I've always had that place of yes attitude. It doesn't mean I'm always in a good mood. It doesn't mean I'm not bitchy sometimes. It doesn't mean I don't get overwhelmed. It means that I take a minute, I get upset, I sit in bed, I process, maybe I cry, maybe I get depressed, I think the world's coming to an end. I wake up, I brush myself off, I make it a place of yes, and I come through the window because I couldn't get through the door. I have always been like that. You take a minute to breathe and process. You don't pretend it didn't happen. You allow, you receive it, you cleanse it, and then you start anew, and you just hit it from a different angle. I always treat it happens now. Relationships, business. And by the way, business has never been more possible and fruitful, but it's never been more difficult because everybody thinks they're an entrepreneur and everybody says brand and everybody watches Shark Tank and people are in their garage becoming billionaires and having ideas but the good news, and this is really the best thing I can possibly say, you know how we get older and we're not the best at social networking and we don't understand everything the millennials understand and we don't understand everything about modern technology and it's hard to keep up and there's so much being thrown at you and there's 10,000 television channels that I don't even understand how to get to and 55 TV shows you're supposed to be invested in. I will tell you this is the truest thing. It's all back to the original fundamentals. The people that work hard and don't complain about overtime and aren't complaining about what they're not getting and aren't complaining about what the men are getting that the women aren't getting and are not complaining or just being better than the men or being better than the women or just being the best, those are the ones that are succeeding. It is a fact. Everybody, right? I'm serious.
Right.
I don't look at resumes. I look at someone who's like, I'm on it, I've got it, I got you. I don't care. Work hard, be better than the person next to you. Most people don't work hard. Most people are entitled, they expect, they're more worried about what everybody else is doing. It's be the best. That's it. Just do it, like Nike says. Really. It's not about the best social picture. It's not about living a life that's not your real life, what you're really doing, pretending you've got it going good. It's about just being the hustler that executes and gets it done.
Good. Girl, she is real, huh? We noticed that you recently partnered with Dress for Success for the Be Strong initiative. And I want you to tell us more about what that is and why you feel it's so important to you. Why now?
Uh, so Be Strong is a philanthropic effort that I created. It was originally for families in crisis. And it was going to be small groups of people at a time for legal aid and financial aid and counseling. People in really dire situations, whether it's illness or poverty, they've been incarcerated, they need to get a job, whatever it is. But what happened was when the Houston hurricanes hit, I said, this is a crisis. And I just totally organically, as if I was starting a business from the beginning, because I had never really done hands on philanthropic work.
And why? Why all of a sudden the philanthropic work? Why now?
When you see something, you know how they say at the airport, see something, say something, or do something? It wasn't a grand plan. I saw these people on television. They were suffering. They're not that far. I have a great platform where I can, ask people for money, give them a compelling argument. Like I said, there's so much on television and on the internet that nobody knows what to listen to. I feel people trust me and believe me. And I just started pleading and raising money. And within a couple of days for Houston, I was able to raise over $350,000 and go there and help like 1,000 families. And I thought that was like the greatest thing I had ever done.
That is well done.
And families had lost their homes, they had lost their dignity, they were taken in dump trucks because the boats were full, and they were in waist deep in water with their families, and they really had lost everything, what I thought was everything. They had lost almost everything. They had their family, they had friends' homes to stay with. And then there was a terrible earthquake in Mexico, and I found out the hardest hit in Mexico. And I took helicopters and brought relief there, and there was a town of 8,000 people where 80 people were dead. People were still dead under buildings. That was the worst I had seen to that date, where people were performing medical procedures in the streets. Babies being held by their parents with bleeding heads, like you see in National Geographic, like you see on television that you can't believe is true. Like a destitute third world country where people are sleeping on the streets. And their own government was keeping all of the relief for the two political parties to distribute themselves in front of a camera and, orchestrate the way that relief was distributed. So then Puerto Rico hit. Maria hit Puerto Rico.
Now you're on a roll. Now you're on a philanthropic roll.
Now I feel like, okay, I know how to do this. I can get together people. I can create a logistical plan. And now I feel like I can do this. And my boyfriend at the time says, you cannot go to Puerto Rico. They have no running water. They have no electricity. And I said, well, isn't it, he said, it's unsafe. I said, well, isn't this now when somebody has to go? It's like anything. It's like when going on The Apprentice, they told me there's 250,000 applying, so, don't bother. So I'm thinking, oh, let's just let people die and not do anything. So I was asking every wealthy person I know for a plane. I would have called Grant for a plane. I would have called you for a plane. I was calling everybody for help for a plane. And, people, I've never done this before, so people were sort of just, laughing at me, not getting involved. So I charter a plane. I'm going to leave the next day. I have no clue what I'm putting on the plane. I have no clue how I'm distributing it when I get there. I'm putting everything on Twitter, and I'm getting people responding saying, I have a children's hospital, and we need children's medicine. We need X, Y, and Z. I have an animal shelter. We feed the homeless. And I'm pulling all these people together to help me fill this plane. And by the time I chartered the plane and was leaving, I hooked up with an organization based in Miami, Global Empowerment Mission. And they say, we've literally been, for those of you who pray and believe in this, they said, we've been praying for somebody with a plane. We have a warehouse full from their 90 trips to Haiti. we've been praying for somebody with a plane. I said, I have a plane. So we get together, we organize something in Puerto Rico. Now, before the plane leaves, my friends, my rich friends, are seeing, oh, lead by example. She did it. Now I trust it. She spent her own money. I'll give you a plane. I'll give you a plane. Steve Harvey, who was here, gave me a plane. Ellen DeGeneres, 3 planes. So many, Andy Cohen, a plane. Elvis Duran, a plane. Every rich guy I ever dated, a plane. Every rich guy that wanted to date me, a plane. I was like, why didn't I handle my social life like this? People were calling me, and I was saying, don't call me if you don't have a plane. So then it got to be 54 planes to Puerto Rico.
That's making a difference. That's making a difference.
54 planes. We then, on Twitter, I was accumulating all the relief from all the United States of America that people didn't have a full plan to get to Puerto Rico because they took it at high schools and churches and convention centers like this. They had no plan. So I said, get the stuff to me. It's illegal to hold relief. Get it to me. I'll get it there. So then, barges, which would fill this entire stadium and maybe more, with what became 15 million pounds of relief and $60 million of relief. And what they say, I don't know, but they say it's the largest private relief effort in U.S. history in that period of time.
And that's
Crazy.
why you're one of the 100 most influential celebrities named by Forbes.
And I promise you, I didn't know thank you so much. I didn't know one thing about relief work. I was building the rocket ship while flying it. I didn't know a single thing, which says to you it's no different than business. There's nothing you can't get done. Get on the road and just start figuring it out with smart people and get the people that are lazy out of the way. That besides being a good mother, I believe I'm a very involved and good mother. That is
asked her. That was her proudest professional
proudest
accomplishment.
Yes, that's my proudest accomplishment. I still can't believe it, and now I know how to do it. So we went to North Carolina and we went to Guatemala. So thank you. So once you know how to do something, you can do it in different ways. And North Carolina has nothing to do with what happened in Guatemala for the volcanoes. The logistics are different, the situations are different, but it's like once you have the confidence to cook a recipe, then you might try something different. So once you get it, you're like, I can do it. So I could do that and I could do that. So it wouldn't make a difference if I was creating a jungle gym or a water park or helping to save Puerto Rico. You know how to do it. It's like business.
You are such a wealth of inspirational and very powerful knowledge.
Thank you.
And I want to know, what would be the one thing that you would have told yourself as a teenage girl, that you would have told that teenage girl self that you now know that you wish you would have known then?
I would have told myself to stop worrying so much, but I don't think I would have listened. But the best advice to give to young people, it's so great that people are so entrepreneurial and that college students know what they want to do and want to have the world, all solved and have life wrapped up in a Tiffany blue bow box. But I literally didn't have any success or any money. That $8,000 in my bank account was when I was in my late 30s, with no kid, no clue if I would make it. Now you're halfway between Cuba to Florida, and you don't know whether to swim back or to keep swimming. I mean, your eggs are rotting. You don't know. You don't have any money. You don't have any family. You don't know if it's going to work. You just have your gut instinct and your faith. But I would say to those young people, it's good to have a plan, but we plan and God laughs. You plan and then a hurricane hits and you have no house. You plan and then a recession hits. You plan and then, something happens in a bad divorce or somebody steals or, somebody gets sick. So I would say it's good to have a plan, but all roads do lead to Rome. So be on the road, be moving forward, but know that there might be a flat tire. You might run out of gas. You might hit a roadblock, so you got to be doing two things at the same time, multiple things. You have to be planning, but you have to know that it's okay to not know. It's okay to travel and to experience and have different relationships and a million different jobs and learn from each job and then finally hit what all of that information will bring you to. But I said don't assume someone's smarter than you, but also don't think you're better than any job. Because any assistant that I've ever been, I was the best coffee maker, the best copy maker. If you don't want to do it, don't have a bad attitude. Don't do it. Don't make food that's crappy. Don't make food. Don't do a job that's half-assed. Don't do the job. Don't, get up and get dressed and come out here and dial it in. Do it or don't. So that's how I feel about that.
And when you talk about the people that, that you do listen to when
I don't
you
think I've taken a breath in 25 minutes.
No, but you're killing it. So have a water and continue because we're loving you.
I'm into it. I don't want to. Listen, these guys pay good money to be here, and they got to get every single second worth of information.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Right?
Because you saw it.
Absorb it.
Absorb it.
I'm drinking through a straw that still has paper on it.
She's actually drinking her skinny girl alcohol at this moment. It is not water. But you say you know what you don't know.
Yes.
So was there ever a time that someone who did know imparted some advice on you that actually motivated you to be different?
I think you just get advice the whole way through and you take what you like and you edit what you don't. But I do remember Ellen DeGeneres telling me, don't believe, I'm paraphrasing, don't buy into the love and don't buy into the hate. Meaning don't get all excited when everybody loves you and be believing, drinking your own Kool-Aid. But then by the same token, don't be beating yourself up when everybody's hating. There are, with the internet, there's so much more room for trolls, so much more room for people to hide behind a phone or a computer and say nasty things. And just don't buy into it. And the other thing that she told me was, and this works in relationships, in business, in friendships, in everything. You'll keep making the same mistake until you actually learn the lesson. You ever find that you keep making the stupid mistakes? Like you get into the same kind of relationship with the same kind of person, or you make the same mistakes in that relationship. Or in business, you keep making the same mistakes, or as an employer or as an employee. So not until you actually learn whatever the lesson is, you'll keep doing it. So figure out what the lesson is, and then you'll break the chain.
What are some of the tips for entrepreneurs that are trying to make it? What would you say to them?
The tips for entrepreneurs are really, I think that things are pretty simple. I think that being an entrepreneur and even the word can be very, very scary. I do think it's very simple. I think you should understand exactly what your idea is. And like they say, that elevator or escalator pitch. It means the business might not be that simple, but you need to be able to explain it and really understand where somebody else can understand it in just minutes. You need to be, my best friend is here with me from high school, and she said to me, I can't believe you go on there and you're not prepared and you don't have notes. And it's here. I know what it is. I know what I am. I know what I've done. I know where I'm going. I know what my mistakes are. It's in my soul. It's in my blood. So that your business has to be part of you. It's not something that you kind of say, but you're regurgitating, something that you read or saw. You just live it. It is you. It's what I'm as much of entrepreneur as I am a mother. Like, it's just who I am. And so it's contagious. And your idea will be contagious. And more importantly than the idea, you guys, everybody is saying, don't take my idea. Don't tell anybody my idea. Register the idea. Ideas are a dime a dozen. Executors are not. People who execute ideas are not a dime a dozen. There's so few. And I know I said it before, but you have to understand it's back to like being a caveman woman. It's back to the cave era. Hard work. You know, the people who are in the NBA, they're just out there at 6 in the morning shooting the basket until they get them all in. It's just, I work hard. And if something doesn't work, I find a way to make it work. And if it doesn't work 10 times, I throw it away. I keep moving to the next thing. Most people don't work hard. Most people don't work hard in the gym. Most people don't work hard at their desk. Most people they work long hours and say they work long hours, but they're not, you're just moving papers around the desk. Work hard. Most people don't. So you will crush the game if you work hard. It's like food. Everybody's got a diet. Eat your weight in peanut butter diet, low carb diet, Atkins diet, South Beach diet, paleo diet, only bananas diet. I mean, cabbage soup diet. The bottom line is calories in, calories out. It's exercise. It's what you eat. It's not brain science. And that's why it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So it's the same thing with work. Everybody's got a quick scheme. Just work your ass off. Work your ass off if you want to be successful.
And you were speaking to the right crowd, because everyone said, don't hold this convention on Super Bowl Sunday. And Grant said, oh no, my people work. My people are more interested in their future than worried about going to game. And you're here.
True.
These people know how to work.
No, yeah, I mean, yes. Your life.
We love your message.
Your life is the Super Bowl. Your life is the Super Bowl. And also, but when I mean work hard, I don't mean take on everything, do everything. If you can't delegate, then you can't. It's like you're a massage therapist. You have a calculator. You charge $150 in 10 hours, in 10 massages. You know how much you can make in a day? $1,500 bucks. That's your cap. If you get other massage, you know, multiple massage therapists take a piece of what they're doing. I taught my housekeeper in the Hamptons, who only did one house, all my organizational techniques to organize people's drawers, to organize their homes. Now she has 20 houses. You have to know how to delegate, be organized. Be organized not just in your business, in your refrigerator, in your kid's toy bin, in your under the sink cleaning area that nobody sees, under your bathroom sink. If your area and your life is organized, your business is organized, your thoughts are organized, your plan is organized. Don't take on everything. Saying no is also saying yes. Saying no to something that's going to be a huge time suck and not make you a lot of money versus something that's going to make you a lot of money is not a good idea. My 3 filters are, if it doesn't change the game, if it isn't innovative, if it isn't inspiring, like coming here, like this is amazing, this is game changing, this is innovative, this is inspiring. If it doesn't do that, if it doesn't make a shit ton of money or help a lot of people, I'm not doing it. So game changing, inspiring, or make a lot of money. That's it. That's it.
Dare I even ask, what does the future hold for Bethenny?
The future holds for me to continue to be a good mother, to have successful relationships, to pick my spots, to have fewer buckets totally full rather than, 6 buckets full rather than 12 buckets a third full. So I've been working with HSN. I'd like to do more things with HSN. I'd like that to be a bucket because I'm there, I'm already there, sell more things, create better relationships, rather than just once in a while go there. Let's say that I started working with you, working now with 20 different, speaking engagement people, doing meaningful engagements where you could speak to this many people at one time versus 50 where I could speak to 250 people. Like, just maximize your time and your day. This is very exhilarating. This is so many people. You guys are going to talk to other people. Hopefully, if I gave you even one idea, you might share it. You're sharing other people's ideas, like that kind of thing, like quality over quantity.
Finally, when you hear the term 10x, what does it mean to you?
the nth degree, going, further than you imagined you could ever go. I mean, life and God doesn't give you more than you can handle, and you can't imagine what you actually can handle. And, I really do think that you have to focus on, like I said, please look at the board. I'm looking at the room, but I'm looking at you. Like, you have to tell people working with you, look at the board. Don't just be stuck in the pieces. Look at the whole entire board. But you can take on so much more than you think you can if you have your plan tight and right and are flexible. So, I forgot what you asked me. Oh, 10x means take it to the next level, and then take it to the next level and see how far you can take it. And take a break. You don't have to kill yourself. You're not supposed to not sleep. You're not supposed to not eat. You're not supposed to not be a good parent. You're supposed to find whatever your balance is and take it to the next level. But I think that's important, because I think we have so many motivating people telling you how to go get it and get it done, but you have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't help anybody else. So you have to have your own personal success too, your own personal time, your own personal walk on the beach, take a swim, quality time with your kids without the phone. Be present, be in the moment, enjoy, celebrate, laugh, have a cocktail, laughing. Laughing, if you're not laughing, you're never gonna be really successful, because all of this is fun, and when you make a mistake, you have to laugh. Just like when your kid poops in the tub, you have to laugh. So I think laughter and having fun is the most important thing.
It's the game of life.
Yes.
Everybody, I know I can speak for all of us when I say you have inspired us all. We really appreciate you coming out on Super Bowl weekend and speaking with us. So please, let's give a very warm thank you to Miss Bethenny Frankel. Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time. Thank you.
Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up! Give it up, blow the roof off! Give it up for Bethenny Frankel, 10X, come on!